Okay, here's a case I actually want to show you here. This one I'm very happy with. It's called Proto Armor. It's made by Mobile App Systems, and basically it's just two solid pieces of aluminum that were forged. You bolt them together with the Raspberry Pi inside, and what's really great about this is that there's the top half of the case actually has little heat sinks built into it. So basically, you put a little piece of foam on the ends of the heat sinks inside, bolt this together, and the entire case essentially draws the heat away from the chips inside. So instead of having a little bit of air inside here to keep the chips cool, or in a case like this where you don't really have any sort of modifications done at all. It's just basically just the air circulating inside is keeping it cool. Basically, it's just ambient air inside. This the metal case actually becomes the entire heat sink. So, compare this entire case as opposed to let's see. So I got a as opposed to one of these here. No big difference. These are aluminum too, but they're like what, 1 or 2 grams, opposed to like I don't even know how much this thing weighs. But either way, on top of that, also the big issue I was talking about with the SD card being unprotected. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's nice and snug right in there. So yeah, that's all the parts are very well protected here. Short of it being like a case where all the ports are like a more normal sort of PC sort of case. We have all the ports on this special purpose plate. This is probably the best solution out there. And yeah, I was comparing this box here. You run this at full bore, and you're probably not going to get over 120 degrees. Typically, it's running a lot less than that. If it's just sitting there, it's probably running at typically about I don't know, 108 or so. This, you start it up, and it immediately jumps to like about 130 when it finishes booting up. And you start to use it a little bit, and it starts going up to about 145 or so, and then, within about 30 minutes or so, it's reached its peak, and it just shuts down. It reboots. This case, it doesn't shut down like this one does, but it does run a lot hotter than this one does. Typically about 130, 135 degrees. That's pretty much where it stays, whether you're using it hard or not. But this, yeah, very happy with this. I'm gonna stick with this from now on. I'm gonna probably use this for more mobile things. I can figure out a way to get the chip protected. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of sanding down of the slot here, so I can fit that little Adafruit adapter. Because in this case, it doesn't quite fit. The slot is like perfect for a regular SD card, but this bulges out a little bit there. So I'm thinking I'll probably stick with this. I'm gonna keep this in my pocket, for instance, and do a little bit of a modification of the case so it'll fit this adapter. But for most of my Raspberry Pi work, let's put it that way, I'll use this. It works a lot better. So yeah, I'll be honest, it's like $40 online at eBay. So it actually costs more than the Raspberry Pi itself. But yeah, it works very well. It keeps it cool, it keeps protected, and I recommend this one wholeheartedly. If you want a pretty case, by all means, this is probably the most pretty one available, but it has its problems. You work around some of them, but the heat problem, that's just something I couldn't get around with this particular device. I don't know of a way to actually keep the chip cool inside. But if you're not really using it for anything hardcore, it should work fine. And you know, these I don't really recommend. They're kind of cute and all, but I mean, if you're gonna go this route, what's the point of really having a case in the first place? And this is just, you know, I had to learn. So I'm gonna move on from that too. But yeah, uh, both these cases. This case I got from Mobile App Systems on eBay, and these two I got from both Peebo.com. This one was like 12 and a half pounds, so in dollars that works out to about 18, 19 bucks. And this one was only like 6 or 7 pounds, so just short of $10. And for general use, I'll probably be sticking with this more often. But yeah, again, it's a really cool looking case. I just wish it worked better. But yeah, all things considered, it's a general purpose. Most of the time when I use a Raspberry Pi, this is the case I'll use. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a note. Thanks.